Hello, uh, good evening everyone. On behalf of Hyderabad Chartered Accountants Society, I warmly welcome all participants to today's webinar on 360 degrees coverage on residential welfare associations and related compliances. This session aims to provide a comprehensive understanding on various aspects of resident welfare associations, an area that became increasingly important for professionals. We are privileged to have CA Saikiran Thota as our speaker today. He is a practicing chartered accountant specializing in governance, finance, compliance, and auditing of housing societies and residential welfare associations. Since starting his practice in 2018, he has worked extensively with residential communities ranging from medium-sized societies to large complexes, helping them establish structured governance, social management systems, and regulatory compliance frameworks. He is also a certified social auditor and brings practical insight into the governance and compliance challenges faced by the housing societies today. With that, I request CA Saikiran Thota to take over the session.
Yeah, good evening all, and thanks, Ishwanta, for brief introduction about me. Uh, so before we step into the webinar, I would like to add a few couple of things uh, that happened for me. I was blessed with a baby girl 2 days back, and one more thing, I was about to launch my book on the society housing societies in the next month actually. So this is two things that keeps me happy. In the last week, after I confirmed Suresh Garu about this webinar and all that things. So this seminar on 360 degrees coverage on residential welfare association related compliances, right? So before we step into that, let us understand the governance, the finance, and the compliance in housing societies. So uh, even understanding before that, let us think about this simple small solution. So, if there is a society of 500 flats and collecting the maintenance of 4,000 rupees and for 12 months, it would come around 2.4 crores of collection, right? So the residents of housing societies might feel that the housing society is a small regional community, but in short, financially, it is not such a small small regional community at all. So yet we, from my last experience of almost 7 to 8 years, are seeing many housing societies lacking behind the governance systems, and there could be no proper financial systems. Even I don't see any. Most of the housing societies are lacking the knowledge on compliances part too. So even as with this, see, this is a major thing in the current scenario. This might be the lack of knowledge on the society's part, and even the management might have not gone through the issues actually what could be happened in the future and all that things. So implementing at least 5 to 10% of financial management and cost management could significantly impact the burden on members and also help to build the healthier urban communities. Thus, I want to say that housing societies is not just maintenance society; it is more than that. So every housing society in reality should be functioned as a structured institutions as it involves the governance decisions which almost affect hundreds of residents and financial management through CAM collections and legal and regulatory compliances and vendor management and infrastructure maintenance. So most one second. So and in nowadays you might be seeing in Hyderabad the large societies building up. And when I lastly attended the expo on Builders Expo actually, which is held in High Techs. So I'm about to see almost around within next 5 to 6 years, almost there could be around 80 to 100 societies about to be won, actually. So you can see the scope of housing societies in Hyderabad, and at what large extent the housing societies are in Hyderabad and surrounded areas like Rangareddy and all that. So these residential housing committees mostly manage expenditures from lakhs to and even to the crores. That's what. So based on these, even every management and general body has to focus on keeping governance in place and also maintain the cost management that could reduce the burden on CAM on resident members, and also it could help to build the urban healthier urban communities. So I would like to say that this webinar I have designed for chartered accountants, once again, chartered accountants and professionals who are advising societies and members involved in housing society management and professionals who are interested in governance and compliance of RWAs. And I honestly say that this webinar may not be suitable for purely theoretical and academic discussions. So as the audience here is from apartment societies. It's not only chartered accountants, not financial background people. It's from various people from the housing societies. I joined the webinar. So keeping in that mind, so I have not kept this PPT or webinar purely technical part thing. So this could not cover the technical representation of statues and all that. So, and literally this webinar focus on practical governance, financials, and compliance realities in current housing societies. And so, in short to say, this webinar will cover the understanding of registered welfare associations, governance structure, what could be the rights and duties of members and residents, and what could be the financial structure of the CAM, and you can also have knowledge on what the CAM includes and how the calculation could be done, and what it is not included in the CAM, what expenses will not be included in the CAM thing, and documentations and record management that has to be maintained by the management committees, and the election process in the housing societies, and income tax and GST consideration with respect to housing societies, and the policy frameworks in housing societies. For example, of how we maintain the policy frameworks and how we develop the policy frameworks for housing societies. I taken the example of pet policy here. So, and also in the detail, considered the practical issues I come up over a period of time that could be faced by RWAs, and also at the end, I have considered the considerations that every management committee and residents has to be taken care of before the financial closure, actually, this financial closure. And at the end, that could be summary and key takeaways and the closure part. So with this, I can promise you from the session of 90 minutes, you will understand in detail and gain a clarity on how societies function as governance institutions. It's not just a residential committee. So before even starting, I mean to say that the societies, the RWAs should not be only for the maintenance of the infrastructure and all that stuff. It should be governed properly, and the policies has to be framed properly, and the functions has to be framed in such a way that it should build some urban communities, not just mere working on the common payments and all receipts kind of thing. So, and you will also gain the what is the financial structures need to be, and how the CAM is calculated, and what has to be included in the CAM and what not to be included in the CAM. And you'll gain a clarity on documentation and compliance requirements too, and the challenges faced by societies in the current market scenario. So with this, the main objective of this session is provide a practical understanding of RWAs with respect to governance, with respect to finance, and with respect to compliance also. So I'll take 2 minutes of your time to explain about my journey. So myself, Saikiran Chartered Accountant, I have qualified in 2016. and I was started in my practice in 2018. So why I especially focused on housing societies? So in initial stage of my practice, I had a chance to work with the housing societies. With that, so I literally understood there is something else beyond the finance that has to be addressed, and that could be help for the housing societies to maintain the healthy environment among the societies. So I was able to understand the things better as I was working almost from 2018 on housing societies, and I had exposure of housing societies. I had in my clientele from ranging from 100 flats, and it extends to almost more than 2,800 flats. And last my experience. So with the through these experiences, I can give you some kind of clarity, a certain pattern of governance required, some part of financial management and compliance challenges, which will enable you think of the how society should run and what are things that should be addressed among your societies, either as a professional you're working for societies or you're president of or management committee of the societies. This will enable you 100%. So how you need to think going forward on about societies and all that. So let's start the core part of this session, understanding the Regional Welfare Association, right? So before understanding Regional Welfare Association, I like to give an example how this RWAs has been developed over a period of time. So previously, you can think of in villages part, see many of the people are occupied with their own businesses. One into plumbing part, one is into carpenter and all that things, and many other business and all that. So if they come across the repair works of any temple, or if they want to construct any temple, they would come together and they would be keeping on physical efforts for developing the temple and doing some repairs and all that for the temple. But when coming to and the people over here, many of the people would be into IT background as we are based from Hyderabad, and other most of the cases would be you are from Hyderabad regions, people living in urban societies, right? So that might not be that have time to allocate themselves for societies. So in a way, they are contributing in a financial perspective to the society to maintain the societies in well-structured manner. So that's what. So it was developed in that manner. So the urban communities has been in till now. And as I said, you in the initial starting of this session, so almost around 80 to 100 housing societies are about to come in Hyderabad in next 5 to 6 years. Almost 80 to 100 gated communities are about to come in Hyderabad in next 5 to 6 years. So coming to the understanding the Regional Welfare Association, so it is a collective body formed by residents of an housing society. So the purpose of the forming the housing is basically for maintaining of common facilities and shared responsibilities. And for in every housing society, I feel strongly there should be a community participation and decision making, and the people of the residents of the housing society should be a part of decision making while framing the policies or what it may be. So, and just coming to the residential welfare associations, it also formed for the purpose of maintaining common infrastructure and services. Thus, RWS represents organized community living in urban environments. So, coming to the governance structure in housing societies, majorly the societies function through governance layers. One is a general body and one is a management committee. So, coming to general body, it's a total number of members of the society, and They are the supreme decision-making authority in the housing societies, and who could approve the policies, make annual budgets, and also make key decisions like appointment of auditors and dissolution of societies and amendment of bylaws and delegation of any person for legal and compliance. So they can allocate any person on behalf of the society to represent housing societies before any legal departments and all that. So, so by these, you'll understand that the supreme decision making authority is with the general body. It's not the management committee. So every member has to feel that, has to get aware of that. They're the supreme general body in decision making actually. So their responsibility does not end at voting the management committee and all that. They should attend the general body meetings and all. They should involve in the annual budgets. They need to understand the budgets. Then they need to understand the documents which are published by management committee, and also they need to understand and the bylaws of the society. Basically, first, even the management has to understand, and members has to be understand in the actual bylaws of society. So bylaws could be different for different societies. The model bylaws could be the framework will be same, but when coming to the actual bylaws, which is approved by the district registrar, could be different for different housing societies. So, so most of the scenarios, I notice that many of the members are unaware of the actual bylaws of the society they are living in. They need to understand. So that could be easy for even management when you understand the bylaws to run the society and all that things. So coming to the management committee, so management committee is is the members of the society is also as elected representatives of that members for performing day-to-day administrative thing uh, things. And what does the management committee do? It's implement decisions of the general body, including policies which is framed in general body meeting, and also financial management of the camp funds, vendor selections, and supervision, and maintaining of the statutory reports. So, in my practical experience, see, the meetings will be scheduled, general body meeting will be scheduled, but I don't see. So, if there are 100 flats in a housing society, so the maximum number of people attended the general body meeting will be less than 50%, almost. So the in last 5 to 6 years, I have seen rarely the societies where more than 75% of people has attended general body meeting and expressed their opinion towards the things they have mentioned in general body meeting by the management committee. So even you face any criticism kind of thing, if you are unaware of that or any things, every member, I humbly request every member of the society should attend the general body meeting and understand the documents what the management committee is presenting in the uh, meetings and all that. They have to go through that, and they are able to express the have to express the opinion and the documents which the management committee is presenting in an general body meetings. And at the same time, even the management has a committee has a responsibility to explain the things in the better way, so that even the layman in the from the community can understand the proper reasoning behind the numbers, and whether it might be the decisions what you're taking, whether it might be the numbers or in from audited financials or annual submissions, whether it might be related to the CAM of thing. So, as per my knowledge and as per my experience, I can understand, I can confidently say that. So, management committee, while taking any decision, should stand in the should stand in the perspective of members, and while implementing such decisions, it should be in such kind of authority. So by these, the even the members can the problems of members can be addressed properly, and even while implementing also, and management has should not think that they're the members. They should implement it as properly as members, and it should be equal for every member of the society. Otherwise, the societies could not sustain for longer period, and you might be seeing many societies are facing some issues, and they're facing some kind of problems. And in most of the societies are in representing in the courts. That could be the reason current market scenario things. So even members has to be so responsible in performing their duties. Members has a lot of rights that they have to exercise that rights, and they has to be so responsible for the decisions what the management has to be taking for the well-being of the society. With this, I would like to move to what could be the actual right of members and residents in the gated communities. See, and I would like also give you some clarity on how this could help running the proper societies. See, when the members, these are the members' rights, right? So when the members participates in general body meetings and vote in society elections, uh, they choose one person based on the criteria they might be knowing, right? So if they come across the things that is not in the favor of society, so if and only if they are participate in general body meetings, they can express his opinions, their opinions towards management. Even it would be very difficult for management to address all the issues, and that has to be that it is very difficult to management to address all the issues within the short span of time. Management might take the time for implementing the things, but even the members uh, has to wait for the implementation of the policies and all that. And so they have right to access the financial information and records. So even only with a single this right of access to financial information things, many things could be happen. Many positive things could happen in the society. Suppose let us take an example. Suppose there come across a society where the vendor expense related to security has drastically increased by 20% in case of one society from compared to previous years. So, knowing that residents can raise the voice, but raising the voice is not the solution for that. Members have some rights to access that financial information. So, even the committee has could explain the proper reasons why they have increased the quotation of by drastically by 20%. So when it should be structured in that way, members should access the financial information and records, and they have to understand what could be the proper reason, and they should analyze the whether such reason is valid or not. So if it is the proper reason, they can you can leave it. Otherwise, if it is not that thing, you can inform the management that this has been increased so and so, and this is very crucial that you need to be addressed and all that things. So once and management has to immediately has to take responsibility on what are the things that members has to be reporting to you. And even you can establish some kind of common environment, or that people for the members in the society there has to be some kind of portal and all that, so where the members can raise their concerns to the management, and management has to keep certain time period by when they has to solve the concerns of the concerns raised by the members. With this, even the members know that members know what is the actual status of the concerns that raised by them. Actually, this could be the best thing I've seen of very few societies where they're currently implementing and softwares and all that. And see, this is a point where I'm coming, speaking about the raising the concerns on management decisions. It should not be the negative impact kind of concerns. It should be a positive note, and every member and management committee has to be in such a way that they has building the healthy urban committee. It's not just running of the society alone thing for the purpose of common infrastructure and all that. They should build some healthy environment as they're going to live in the same society for next 20 to 30 years. So in India, buying the property could be the one-time task for many of the people, right? So, and coming to the living perspective, and the members has to be in such a way that if the environment around them is a healthier and well, they can live happily for the next 20 to 30 years. And your members and the management has to be understandable in that way, because every management committee is a once a member, and even a member can be a management committee in the next upcoming years. Okay, these rights enable the participate governance in the societies. So, knowing the rights of the members and residents, uh, I would like to also know you that actually what is the duties of the members and residents in housing societies. Along with the rights, members also have certain kind of responsibilities. I said earlier, they have to pay the maintenance charges on the time. Without this, the society running the society, it will be very difficult task. And even I have seen such cases where um, almost 20 to 30% of the members has not paid the maintenance charges for month. So, but the management cannot stop running the society for on that issue. So, what the management will do? They will use the available funds with them for paying the regular maintenance and security or expensive audit, maybe for electricity charges and all that. They cannot stop. They cannot affect the people. Remaining 75% of people. Uh, Remaining 70% of the people in the society for the sake of 25% of people in the society. So members has to be so responsible in paying the maintenance charges on time, and management also can impose the penalties at a simple interest and all that, which is already running in many societies for the people who has making the payments in delay or literally late on time. And even the man in the payment of coming to the payment of maintenance charges, if there is a scenario where there's certain flats held by builder, the management has to be so proactive in collecting the maintenance from the builder also. So even that could be a major issue in the current scenario of the societies, where the almost 10 to 15% of apartments flats are held by the builder, and the builder is lacking the payments or not paying the maintenance to the society. But when you think the cumulative impact on the society, see how. So if the builder is not paying for that 10% of flat, which comes to around 1 lakh, right? If he delays and pays at the end of the 2 years or 3 years, in this case, the society is losing the interest on that fund, and they are using the fund which is not related to maintenance for the regular expenses. They are using the fixed deposits which are not meant to use for that for. But on other part, they have to be in proactive in collecting the maintenance charges on time, even with the builder. And coming to the next duties of the members, before follow, I can say that members must read the bylaws and regulations available with the society, and should be a kind of habit reading the bylaws and the regulations, and and the management also responsible in making the members to aware of society bylaws and regulations that can help them to easily run the society and all that things. So you make available the bylaws. You can give things that what actually bylaws reach in from your society, and you can conduct a meeting explaining the society bylaws and regulations, all that. And in case of even new regulations or new policies which are about to come, management has to be so responsible in explaining them, and even members has to be so responsible in understanding them and following them. And these are the third point where I'm coming into has to respect the community policies and decisions. They and also should cooperate with the management with the common welfare of the people in the societies. And responsible members can create a strong committee institutions for societies. So this is most of you people know what the CAM is, and many of the people, audience, you are living in societies, and many times you are listening the CAM, the word CAM, right? So before understanding, so we will understand the basic things, what the CAM does, right? So later on, we'll understand how the will be calculated and what should be included in the CAM, what not to be included in the CAM, all thing. So primarily, the CAM will be collected from the members at the specific SFT wise or the flat wise. Almost I've seen many societies collecting the CAM on SFT wise. So while coming to the small societies, less than approximately 100 kind of societies are collecting the maintenance on flat wise. I mean, fixed maintenance kind of thing, like 2000, 3000, whatever. Maybe it is a fixed kind of thing per flat. But when coming to big societies, more than 500 flats, 1000 flats, it will be very difficult to keep the standard expenditure and fixed expenditures. That's what they are unable to collect the maintenance on fixed basis, flat wise. And the number of people living in each flat could be vary in large societies as well. So that could be the reason and the optimal way to collect the maintenance from the members on SFT basis in the current scenario. So even this scam will be periodic contribution collected from the members, and it will be used for the operation and upkeep of common facilities and ensures uninterrupted one second. So uninterrupted functioning of society infrastructures, and also supports services as security, utilities, and maintenance. So it is nothing but is a fuel to the society. The CAM is literally a fuel to the society, uh, and for keeping the society common facilities and all that. So here we come how the CAM collection framework works actually. So as I said you just before, in many of the societies, the CAM is calculated based on the area. Uh, area matlab, it is SFT wise. So it is nothing but a simple calculation is the total budgeted maintenance cost and divided by the total chargeable SFT. Here the total chargeability is the sum of the total flats multiplied by the SFT thing that comes to the total chargeable area. So, for example, if the budgeted cost of would be a 1 crore 20 lakhs per annum, the total SFT could be 40,000 per SFT, and the CAM could come around 300 per SFT per annum. So, before in this, it might look as simple as that dividing the budget maintenance cost and divided by total charge SFT. Again, it is almost a very difficult task. What has to be included in but that maintenance cost and what not to be included in the maintenance cost too. Okay, so coming to the what all things need to be included in the budgeted maintenance cost, we come here. So this is a general operational expenses that every society uh, e- um, faces in the housing societies, which could be general expenditure, utilities, infrastructure maintenance, and administrative and compliances part. So these are literally operational expenditure and regular day-to-day expenditure. So, what the general expenses could include security and facilities management, housekeeping, and gardening and landscaping. And coming to utilities, that might be electricity for the leaves, common area, and electricity for pumps and motors. If there is an CVH treatment plan, that it might be the electricity for that CVH treatment plans over there. And also lift maintenance, general maintenance, fire safety systems, and STB, WTB maintenance. When I say lift maintenance, but so we need to clearly identify, and even the many in many societies management has drafted a policy what all included and what will be included in future in CAM budget. So that is a best method of having the policy in the society where that will be followed in going future also. So that should be implemented in every housing societies and all that. So to what extent that should be included in the CAM, it's a very, there is a certain kind of line, right? So we need to bifurcate it clearly. And it should be approved in general board meeting also, what will be included in the CAM and all that. So following the rules and regulations from the bylaws, we need to include that. And also other statutes, we need to include that. And also there should be clear line of bifurcation among what are the expenses need to be included in the CAM. In general, the operational part will be included in the CAM, and like lift maintenance, general maintenance, all that. Suppose if it is a lift replacement, whether it should be included in the CAM, there might be no, right? So such kind of thing will be met from the corpus funds. It will not be met from the CAM, common regular maintenance kind of thing. If it is a huge capital expenditure part, it will met from the interest on the corpus or the corpus fund. It might be, it will be. So then here we go with the what all not included in the CAM budget. See, as I said you earlier, see the certain expenses should not be a part of the CAM, like property tax of individual flats will not be included CAM. Why? Whereas the property tax of the society will be included in the CAM, and the electricity consumption inside the flats. Why I have mentioned this electricity consumption here? It's a general known concept why anyway it will not be included in the CAM, right? So, but in many societies, they have taken the single line for electrical supply in the societies. So thereby they supply on private meters to individual flat owners. So how it works? So they'll take the readings of complete society and they'll raise the invoices to the members, and they'll collect the electricity funds, and they'll pay the bill. But and management has to be so careful while deciding the electricity consumption rate. So there has to be every month there has to be calculated properly based on actual bills. Otherwise, it will lead to some kind of profit for the society, and there could be certain kind of implications of GST on the even that on that too. So management has to be so careful in dividing the expense of these electricity bills to the resident. They has to divide at the same rate and they has to bifurcate at the same rate, and only to the extent of the electricity used for the common area, might be lights or water might pumps, or that will be included in the CAM. Otherwise, it will not be included in the CAM. Even the same case applies to water consumption also. Even management has to be so careful in addressing the issues of bifurcating the expense of water, whether it may be HMD based water or water tanks. They should be so careful in addressing that. So major capital replacements, as I said, you the lift might be the generator, the sewage treatment plan, STP plans, WTV plans, all that come under the capital replacements. Even that also not falls under the CAM budget. And these major capital expenditure will be covered through the corpus funds and the special contributions received from by the community. So in brief, these are the things what does a CAM includes and what not include does not includes. Even there is a still gray area uh, what all need to be included and what all not included. This can be addressed based on the situation of the each society and the purpose what they mean making an expense of actually. Coming to the documentation and records maintained by the society, before we go proceed, what all documents need to be maintained by the management? So we need to understand the importance of the documentation and records to be maintained by the management. So what could be so important reason that management has to maintain such records? So see, in our day-to-day life, we might be forgetting the pay some kind of payments which has been paid at least 1 month back, or at least even many I've seen many people are forgetting the payments which has been making payment from last week or at least 2 days back, we might be missing, or we have might be lack of remembering that, all that. But when we are running a society, when we are building a society, it is not just for 1 month or 2 months. Here, the management has to are responsible for total member of society, and even for they are responsible for the departments, and they are responsible for all the stakeholders of the society, right? So when they are responsible for these many people, they has to be so confident in maintaining the records. That should be so proper in maintaining the records in a way that it should be so transparent. When I say the transparency, it should be so transparent that every member of the society has to know the purpose and why and when it has been made. Management should be so careful. Even after making so much arrangements, even management may come with some concerns raised by the members. And if they has to if they want to be in a position to address that even concerns also, they has to maintain the documentation in a proper manner, that even after the 5 or 6 years, when the people ask or when the department comes and asks to you, it will be very difficult for the societies to produce all the documents at all. See, even when you come to say the legal perspective, even income tax and GST, uh, there are certain period where every society has to maintain, like 6 years on income tax. The society has to maintain the books and records for next 6 years. That is a legal perspective. But when coming to society, it is not that way. Management has to maintain in the books and records in a proper legible manner, even from the first day of the society. It is not the legal mandatory thing, but is a society for well-being of the society and thing. And this will be even maintaining the records and documents. This will be helpful for transfer of from the existing community management committee to next in upcoming management committee, and they will know what are things happened in the previous community, and they can able to implement the same things going forward. And the management has to be so accountable towards documents and records for explaining the people, and the what are the expense made, and the purpose they have made, whether they have taken proper care and all that for before making the agreements with the vendors and all that. So with this background, I would like to know you what are the different kind of documents that the management has to maintain for the governance regards. It would be might be society registration certificate and bylaws. Bylaws here includes general bylaws and amended bylaws, if any, in case of few societies, and original property documents and conveyance deed. So here I'm speaking about the original property documents of the society, actual main original document, property documents. So if you think, so most of the people, most of the management committees are still uh, not received the original property documents from the builder yet. I'm sure on that. See, I've seen many societies, almost 75% of societies was not taken the original property document from the builder. So this is a major serious issue that management has should act in proactive basis to get all the property documents from the builder. So, and coming to the conveyance date, what does it mean actually? See, when the builder sold the flats to individual residents, in sale deeds, they might be mentioning the total SFT of the flat and undivided share of the flat the individual resident is getting from the purchase of the flat, right? So when you see the plan of the any society, there are certain common area which is still available, which is still in the name of the builder. It's not in the name of the society. Okay, so there's still in the name of the society the common area, the undivided share, the properties which is in the society is the owner of the society common area, and the property is not the society. It is builder right now. So in many societies this is happening, and even as per RERA, after the handout to society, the builder should have to execute the conveyance deed in the name of the society. Uh, it is a legal document. You will register and sub with sub register what are the areas, common areas, uh, the builder has providing to the society. Please ensure, as I said you earlier, said mostly around 75% of the societies has not yet executed the conveyance deed yet. So please ensure this has to be met immediately. This is a high important task. The management has to act proactively on this. Even the builder might come up and saying that this land belongs to him after the few years. This might possible. Nowhere there is no legal document that it belongs to the society and the people of the residents of the society. So you must be sure that it should be executed immediately and at high priority level. And for governance purpose, and management has to maintain the members register and the ownership records, and has to list out the all the members in the society and the flat details and ownership, and also the members register must be updated on frequently. As and when there is a sale in the society, it should be updated. And while even before a member or resident is doing a sale of his own property, he should get NOC from the society before he execute any sale agreement, that he has cleared all the fees and to whom he is reached selling the flat to the, and the management has to maintain all such kind of records, and the member register should be updated at frequently as and when the sale execution happens actually. And along with the member register, the management can maintain the tenants list also, and who are available in the current living in the society, and the contact primary contact details, and number of people living in the society, and the secondary contact details and all that. And so there is a new thing happening in the society is all that. So when I just got an idea to share with you. Recently, I come across one service platform uh, where before the owner gives the flat to tenant, so there is an initial checkup, background checkup kind of service available in the market. Avail that, and management ensure that it must be implemented across societies to avoid any future incidental issues and all that things. So even coming to the minutes of no minutes of the management committees has been documented. It should be uploaded. It should be signed by the chairman of the general body meeting, and it should be uploaded with the available software with in your community. And even the minutes of the management committee has to be uploaded with the portal available within the community. And that and additional to that, there are additional registers which are required to be maintained as per the policies made within your community. Suppose as I took the example of pet policy, members management is responsible for maintaining the register. Once policy is implemented, the management should take the list of the pets available and who are the owners of that, and when they're maintaining it, they are responsible for that, and they should get contacts. And if they face any incident kind of thing, and they can accountable the owner for that and all that. So for even for that, research has to be maintained properly, and it should be updated on frequent basis. It should be better to update and taken it as a proactive and preventive measure instead of acting the post issues and all that. Next, coming to the financial records, It might be the maintenance billing records. If any societies are maintaining it is online, that could is best and a good way of maintaining the records. And I suggest that every society has to maintain the society respective softwares for that. So it is very difficult to maintain the all billing documents and all that in the manual records, because if the society has abandoned flats, so every month they has to raise the maintenance. Almost 500 into every month 500 into 12. Almost 6,000 invoices has to be maintained manually. That could be very impossible and it will be hectic task for the even for management to maintain that. So it's better to have a internal software society for raising the invoices and all that, and you can record the same. And even there are multiple softwares in the committee where you can immediately get the receipts and payments restarts and all that. So while maintaining the records, and the bank reconciliation has to be done on monthly basis, and annual financial statements and audit reports has to be done, and the ledgers of the vendors has to be properly maintained, and it should be scrutinized every month. And it is not the thing, say, in normal basis, in normal, if you have your own business, right? So many people will scrutinize the business, their own businesses, in on monthly basis. In that case you are responsible for only you, but in society it's not like that. There are many people living, there are many stakeholders in the society. The management is responsible for all the stakeholders. So if they have to maintain all records in the, they have to take more proactive decisions in maintaining the all the financial records and all that. And coming to, and it's fixed deposit statement that you can get from directly from the bank, and that can be maintained online. That could be easy thing among all this. And coming to complaints record, so I feel this has to be so crucial for the society in maintaining that. Even might be GST filings, TDS payments, and TDS returns, income tax returns of society. And the crucial part over here is the agreements and contract. So when I say agreements, it is not about agreements. It is about the management that taking the quotations before the agreements. See, uh, the best way of having agreement process could be uh, deciding the proposal initially, what is the need of getting the works done, and to what extent that will be done, and getting the quotations for the from multiple vendors. And there should be certain kind of analysis on this quotations part, and there should be certain basis why a vendor has to be selected. So management has to make this as a process. Once they have to raise the proposal, once they feel the proposal is mandatory for the survival of society and for regular upkeeping of society, they can call for the quotations. Once the quotations are received, they give a small analysis on the agreement quotations, and they have to prepare the basis for taking the next action. That basis is a very crucial document where the management write on all the things from the different quotations, saying this is the quotations received, these are the terms received. I'm not saying this only from the financial perspective, from other things. Say if you're hiring a security vendor, if you're hiring only on financial perspective, it will be difficult to run the society. If you received a quotation, it might be less. Say, many things you have might be receiving quotations. Some of the quotations are very less financially, but other quotations are very high. You should take a professional judgment on that which vendor has to be selected, and you need to decide the basis, and that should be documented. So whenever the resident or any stakeholder comes and asks for the management on which basis they has to be selected the vendor, they has to be able to provide that. Otherwise, the all the things will be getting into a difficult. So because the agreement part with the vendor is a crucial for every society, and even before finalizing the vendor, and you has to be so careful in obtaining the registration certificates, their experience, and how long they're providing services kind of thing, and all you need to check all decisions required whether it's available with the vendor or not. And if it is not, you need to take some action to get that document and all that. And it should be and also it should be verified periodically. So if you take an example, there's some licenses that should be renewed annually, or sorry, that might be renewed annually, or that might be renewed quarterly and all that. So you need to keep note on that, and to check with the vendor to give that renewed document and all that. And even coming to the vendor perspective, uh, so the major vendor type of vendors for a society could be the manpower, either in the form of the gardening manpower, or it might be the security manpower. It might it might be the facility management people and all that. So for basic to basic things, there should be some PF registration for them. So there should be vendor has to made the payment to them. Otherwise, so when you go through law of labor act and all that, so when the vendor is default in making the PF and ESA payments to the employees, then who is responsible for that? Literally society. So society is called the principal employer in that case. So so society is responsible for making all payments to the employees. So in order to avoid such kind of risk, ensure the vendor has making the payment of PF and ESI properly, and every month they has to submit the document of the payment and uploadment of PF and ESI returns. And even you might be knowing that there was a recent new labor laws into place, right? So even you need to check whether that impacts the in society. For societies it will be impacted more. In even the new labor laws, when I've gone through the new labor laws, even the principal employer is responsible for all employees under new labor laws. So please ensure that all PF and ESI payments has been done and compliance has been taken care by the vendors. Thanks. So coming to the insurance policies, and you might be knowing all about the insurance policies of society assets. So that will be annually done, and ensure that it has been done on frequent renewal and properly and all that. And ensure the appropriate and proper insurance value has been taken over the property assets of society. So, and it will be very difficult to, if anything happens in society, it will be very difficult, and society might be not having such funds to restore the society assets and all that. So it's better to have insurance policy for the society assets and all that. So strong documentation by society ensure the smooth transition between the communities, as I said earlier. This definitely ensure the smooth transition between the changing communities, and the community can take the decisions at the best way, the best manner actually. So that the documentation records to be maintained by the management. So here is a brief on coming to the election process in society. So you might be aware, as you are facing many elections till now, or if you're a member from last 10 years, you might be facing 4 to 5 elections in the housing societies. In brief, I'm not explaining this in so detail. I'm briefing out there. Now. Initially, this could involve the 4-step process of election in every housing society, and that start with the ownership rights. So even the flats might be having the owner by single ownership or joint ownership, or the units are held by the company, LLP, or business entities as well. So even in that case, how we can figure it out is, in societies there will be one vote per unit, and joint owners must nominate only one authorized voter. And entities like companies, LLPs, has to nominate authorized representatives for voting and all that purpose. And eligibility conditions, say every member should be registered in how the society records, and this you can see from the members record. So you need to check, it will be updated frequently, and the members record and members record has to be updated properly by the management. And there is so in many bylaws have gone through. This is one of the condition where members should not have any dues pending beyond the 60 days limit to get eligibility for voting and all that. So ensure that even if your society bylaws have this condition, ensure that has to be figured out before the election and all that. Okay. And even the members will make initial payment for this to get voting right and all that. So and then thereafter the election, the process of actual election starts. The election officer will come and they'll check the need of the having the elections and all in the society, and they issue the election notice prior to the members and invite nominations for the committee positions and scrutinize the nominations and the conduct voting, and the results will be declared based on that. This is a general process. I want to put in front of you that how the election process will work in the housing societies. This transparent election process should strengthen the democratic governance societies as well. Yeah. So coming to the income tax implications of RWAs. So majorly uh, coming to income tax, the residents welfare associations will work on the principle of mutuality. So what does the principle of mutuality means? So in simple statement, I can say that the persons cannot make profit out of himself. So it is simply that keeping the fund from one pocket to other pocket. I can say in simple manner. So that's the concept of mutuality. So in the societies, we can understand in this way: members contribute the common fund and services provided to the collective benefits of the same members who contributed to the members. And there is no third party involved in this concept of mutuality. Once the third party involves, like banks or what it may be, then we can assume that there is no concept of mutuality applies in that scenario. Therefore, the maintenance contributions from the members will not be generally taxable thing, and even the corpus funds would not be taxable, as the corpus funds are only for the purpose of long-term capital of the society, and it will be used for the major repairs and capital replacements. And the contribution from the major capital receipts and under income tax, such capital receipts are not taxable. So there, confirm that maintenance contributions are not taxable under RWAs, and even the corpus contributions are not taxable under RWAs. So, see, this is a scenario where the principle of mutuality breaks. Say, okay. So incomes becomes taxable when this mutuality breaks. So example could be the interest earned on the banks, because the banks are not the member of the society, and that outside the society, third party to the society. So that interest will be taxed, and then from the letting halls premises, and you might be seeing the many shops within the societies. Larger, mostly majorly the large societies have the inside the shops, like medical shops might be, stores might be, salons might be, there could be any shops, like, and even rent from that shops and vendors is taxable, and this move in and more charges is also taxable, and income from advertisement, hoardings, farm distributions and all that, and fees for specific communities like gym, pool, even that taxable, because there's another concept in mutuality, as we assume that. Uh, so it when we say that there's a when we need to understand the principle of mutuality, the type of service should be similar to all. It should not be different to different people. So it should be delivered as common for all. If it is delivered for one specific person, and then the concept of mutuality will break that self. There's the kind of sponsorship services most of the societies would be receiving for culture thing and all that. So that even that sponsorship services are taxable. So all these incomes, the common point is the third party is involved, and either third party is involved or the service is not common for all. So you can check any point of time these two things, basically these two things, to understand whether the income is of RWS is taxable or not, basically. So, and these will be taxable under other sources or house property. The rental and all that will be taxed in house property under income tax, and then other things like interest on FDs and all that will be taxed under the income from other sources. So why it is not a PGBP, I mean, business profession, is because the societies are not formed for the profit and all that. So once the basic concept of society is not for the profits, then the PGP will not arise and it will be taxed under the other source and housing, house property incomes. And coming to the filing of income tax return, the regional welfares are carried as AOPs, Association of Persons under Income Tax Act, and the tax rate. So here I have segregated welfare and cooperative societies. Welfare associations are nothing but society associations which are registered under uh, Telangana Welfare Societies Act 2001. Coming to the cooperative societies, these are the societies which is registered under the Mutual Aided Cooperative Societies Act 1995. So the tax rate is different for these societies. So so there you might be seeing them in current market scenario from last few years. Society registrar is not allowing the housing societies to get registered under the Telangana Welfare Association Act 2001. So because the concept of housing societies is not falling the under the definition of welfare in the 2001 Act. So because of that, they are not allowing new registration under Welfare Act. So currently, many societies are running under welfare, which is previously registered, and many cooperative the upcoming societies are registering under the Mutual Aid Corporation Societies Act 1995. So here, this could be the beneficial for you to think which societies benefits you all. So, so for cooperative societies, so cooperative societies act, the tax rate will be same 30% for, even for welfare 30%, but surcharge will differ actually. So if you register for a cooperative society, the surcharge will be max of 12%, and for welfare it is 37.25%. So I strongly recommend who are all the societies, even for welfare associations, to file the returns or to get the returns done under new tax regime, which will help you get with the surcharge of 25%. If your income is very high and all that, and if it is not, then you can choose the old tax regime and all that, because surcharge is a fixed content in new tax regime. When coming to the cooperative societies, old tax regime, it is a 30% above the 2000, and such as is a maximum of 12%. There is a certain slabs for here for max rate is a 12% for cooperative societies under old regime, and new regime subject to certain conditions you can take a benefit of 22% tax, and such as of flat such as of 10% and education. But there are certain conditions need to be followed by the society before availing, and they need to file the forms with the income tax department for availment of 22% plus such as of 10%. So coming to the form which is need to file for society is ITR 5, and that you can check with the financial consultant and all that who can help you in that. And coming to GST implications. So many of us are aware of that GST is applicable for societies and all that. And to summarize this, so as similar to Income Tax Act, there is a concept of mutuality that not applies in the GST. That's what the GST is chargeable even for the maintenance in housing societies. But department has provided certain threshold conditions where the GST is not chargeable for the members. Currently, it was 7,500 per flat per member per month. So with that, normally all services provided by the RWAs members would qualify as a supply, and they would be chargeable under GST. Basically, they will be come under GST, but there are threshold limits even for turnover of the society. That depends on turnover and uh, maintenance of the society, amount of maintenance of society per month for each flat. So, so this could be the examples of services uh, uh, provided by the which is taken by the RWAs for maintenance of the society, and against which the society raise invoices as a CAM towards members. Coming to GST registration threshold for RWAs, so GST registration required only when annual aggregate turnover exceeds 20 lakhs, and it is a condition of and it is not or. So maintenance charges exceed 7,500 per month per member actually. So if the both conditions satisfied, they are eligible for taking GST registration as to comply with the GST registration. So so GST exemption on maintenance charges, as I said earlier, the present limit was 7,500 per month per flat. So the contribution should be for common use of members. And as we discussed, what the CAM includes, like security, housekeeping, electricity, repairs, all the common operational expenses will be included for the CAM. And to arriving the whether it falls under 7,500 or not, we need to check. And there should be, as I said to you in previous slides, there should be some proper document of writing down what all this as comes under the 7,500 limit and what all comes under 7,500 limit. So previously it was 5,000 rupees per flat per month, and now it was increased from 2018 was increased to 7,500. And uh, there was a coming to if a situation where the person owns two flats, so what could be the how it will be charged? The threshold limit 7,500 it will be applied separately for each unit. So the member, so for each the members has society has a members, and the society gives a membership based on the ownership, right? So it's not person wise. So in the same way, if the even the two persons who holds two or more than two flats, the threshold limit shall be applied for each flat wise per month. It will not be applied common for a single person. It will be applied separately for each unit in the society. And coming to GST applicability matrix for the RWAs. So here is a case. If you can take a scenarios where if turnover is more than 20 lakhs and monthly more than maintenance is more than 7,500, GST is applicable. In all other cases, GST is not applicable, and societies are not liable to get registered under the GST. Okay. Moving forward, GST calculation. So what could be scenario where the maintenance of the society is collecting exceeding 7,500 per member. So whether GST is applied on entire amount or it is applied on excess amount. So there was a circular issued by the department clarifying all the things. So you can follow the circular. So if the maintenance is 9,000 and the GST will be applied on entire 9,000, and it is not the 15,000 difference. But subject to condition, there was a court legal cases going on. So in order to check the validity of this provision. But as of now, in current market scenario, the GST has to be charged on entire amount of 9,000. It is not on the difference of 15,000 rupees. And coming to input tax credit and uh, to explain before we move on to this slide, I want to explain what input tax credit is. See, the input tax is nothing but the GST amounts paid to the vendors for the services you taken. Suppose security services, or any facility management services, vendors are raising any invoices on the name of society. The GST, the portion of GST will be called as input tax credit for the RWAs. Okay, so in as per GST, input tax credit can be availed from on capital goods like generators, repairs, plumbing works, and security and facility management services. But to what extent the society is eligible for that input tax credit? Because what the society is supplying is maintenance. Literally, the society is collecting the maintenance charges, which is exempted under GST. So it is a scenario where society is not collecting the GST, but it is paying the GST to the vendors. So it is paying the GST to the vendors. Whether it is eligible to claim that input for setting off against the society maintenance? No, obviously no. Right? The basic concept that the society has to reverse the proportionate input ITC uh, against the to set off against the GST liability of the society. Here I gave this small example to understand in the detail thing. Suppose this is a maintain first part is the maintenance income to the society, like collections for to the society, maintenance from the members, rental shops, and maintenance from the tenants. See, out of these three things, maintenance from members is exempted, right? As let us assume that it is falls under the 7,500 limit, right? But coming to the rental shop, it is taxable at the 18%, and maintenance from the tenants also taxable. So the total scenario, only 9 lakhs amount is taxable out of the 33 lakhs, right? So what is the proportionate of the proportion of taxable turnover? Okay, so that could be 9 lakhs divided by the 33 lakhs. If it comes around approximately 27.27, let us assume that it's 28%, right? So if the total input GST paid to the vendors is 30 lakhs, then we are eligible only to the extent of proportionality. That is 28%. That which comes to around 81,000 kind of thing. So remaining ITC has to be reversed and it should be debited to the profit and loss account. It will be a part of again a CAM and it is circular impact, but it forms a part of the CAM actually. So while ensuring filing the GST returns, ensure this has to be properly calculated to avoid loss of input tax credit in the societies, and also ensure it should be documented properly. Before, if any issues raised by the department, it will be difficult for you need to address all these things. So, policy framework in societies. So, what I'm saying is, uh, so as per my understanding and my experience, I can say you that how the policies are developed in the housing societies. So there should be some need, and the need should be documented before the society develops any policy, a framework. So once the based on the need, in order to in order to make any process in stimulated, streamlined, then there should be some policy, right? There is a need. Management has to understand there is a gap and that should be addressed, and there is a need of making a policy. That need should be properly documented. Based on that needs, the policies has to be defined. Without knowing the need, what actual problem exists, the policies cannot survive actually. And this policy should address the actual problems of the members. It is not like that just policies are framed, it's a copied from the other societies and it's implemented over there. It is not possible anyway in housing societies that could not sustain for a longer period kind of thing. The common policies in the societies could be pet policy, parking policy, and in-day work policy, clubhouse, amenities usage policy, visitor and securities policies, vendor entry and work timing policy, and waste management policy. These are the basic policies that every society has to maintain and has to develop internally based on the proper framework and all that. So policies ensure the consistency, fairness, and the smooth community in the functioning. So when in specific, when I come to the policy of pet policy, let us take an example. So the pet policy typically addresses pet registration, and as I said, you why the pet policy? The need. What is the need actually? So the need of pet policy is that so that many owner residents having the pets, and the pets has to be there and need to be made owners of the pets accountable for the issues happening in the society. There might be any issues with respect to pets, and it helps to make accountable and the owners of the pets will be responsible for any acts that goes beyond them actually as a society. So there is a need for the pet policies that should be developed in the housing societies. It's a mandatory policy, I guess, for any housing society, and it should start with pet registration. The members should register the pets with the society, and even the members has to submit the owners of the essence has to submit the vaccination and hygienic requirements to the management. As per that should be documented in the pet policy, and to what extent the pets are allowed to use the common areas, and areas where the policies the pets has been allowed to enter. That should be clearly documented, and what is that could be responsibility of pet owners for the cleanliness and handling the complaints related to pets from other residents as well, right? So these policies shall balance the community effort and individual rights, and policies must be approved and clearly documented, and it is not like a common policy for all. It is like a individual policy among for each society could be different thing. So everyone has to develop such kind of policies which ensure smooth functioning of society for a longer run actually. And strong societies is not governed by strong people. I strongly believe in this. Strong societies are not governed by strong people. They're literally governed by the well-defined policies actually. So if the policies are properly defined, is properly implemented, then it will be ultimately the strong society ever actually. I strongly believe in this. So here are the few practical issues currently faced by RWAs. I have to get from many of some requested to address these issues in the webinar. I think the first issue was main as was repeating the same thing. Many RWAs are historically registered under Telangana Society Registration Act 2001, which is a welfare association. However, based on the government circulars and all that, court observations, district registers are stopped accepting the filing applications from the RWAs, where the objective is only apartment maintenance actually. They're registering the colony welfare kind of thing under Telangana Society's Registration Act, but they're not registering this society maintenance under 2001 Act. So even there's cases going on, even you might aware, even recently this stay has been granted in one of the society in Hyderabad also. So many artists are unable to. The reason is that the stay was ordered was previously the same scenario. Previously, society was registered under RWA, and one of the member of the society has raised a concern that the existing society was illegal, and they has to register under cooperative societies and all that. So all that. So recently the case was before accepted the Supreme Court has accepted the case, and on that, and we need to look after the judgment. That could be historic judgment if the Supreme Court passes or delivers a judgment on that. So current market scenario, the many articles are unable to file AGM documents or register office and return document submissions, and societies are being advised to register under cooperative framework actually. So practical approach could be, so I generally believe if there is no issue in registering the Mutually Cooperative Societies Act, please register under Act which allows currently registering the housing societies under that Act. The main pros of registering under TMS was that there is a legal personality over there, and there is a structured governance framework specifically for societies, and there is strategic mission for RWAs and all that. Even you see in before slide, there is an income tax benefit for societies if they got registered under TMAX actually. So considering these pros, that could be beneficial, and it might take some time. So it is not so easy that immediately from the day one I can re-register a TMAX. So the management has to address the issues, and there should be some care about all financial things. The fixed deposits are still in RWAs and kind of thing, and it should be transferred to TMAX and all that. They should get clearance from the income tax. They should get a clearance from the GST if they are already registered under GST. These all things has to be take care before they move to the T-Max and all that things. So coming to second practical issue, see, I often asked by many people from the societies whether the common area electricity charges billed separately and excluded from the CAM so that GST liability reduces. So this is a genuine concern raised by many of the people from the societies. So where when I come to CAM, as I said in previous slides, CAM includes the common operational cost, right? So the common operational cost also includes electricity charges for common area. Once it is defined that common charges include electricity common charges of area, then it cannot be billed separately. It should be included in CAM and all that. But there is a concept of pure agent based on which one of the society in Hyderabad has went for advanced ruling on the same thing, and the advanced ruling was in the favor of that society, and they are currently excluding the GST charges from the common area, main camp for purpose of calculation the camp, and they're raising the invoices separately for every charges. Considering the concept of pure agent and advanced rolling they obtained actually, but there might be some kind of risk also going forward. But if you want to proceed in the same manner, my suggestion could be the go ahead with the advanced ruling and the GST and obtain it, and you can go ahead with that decision actually. And another risk could be the the common. This is also common regular issue faced by the many of the societies. So one person holds the more than two flats, like they holds two flats, like one in 19th floor and other flat will be in 20th floor. They will talk to the builder before they purchase, and they'll make it duplex kind of thing. You have seen many things, but when coming to the registration perspective, the builder registers each 19th floor flat and 20th floor flat separately. He will not register a single flat. So once it is registered as separate flats, then it's a legally it is a separate flats. Then there is no need of confusion over that. Then the maintenance has to be levied for each flat, and even the threshold limit of 7,000 has to be examined for each flat. And the member cannot avoid saying that we are of single flat and all that. Just get the membership things and vote also they will get, and even legally they are registered under the two flats. That's my advice on that actually. So these are the key consideration before you close the closure of housing societies this year. You can take the screenshot of these, or you can take a snap of these. This could be helpful for you intimating your members, community members. If you're a CA, you are chatting on your finance consultant, you can help them, societies, to get all this done, including updating the member records, reconciliation, maintenance, collections, review of society expenses, bank reconciliations, and vendor contract review, income tax review, GST compliance checks, and election government compliances, regulatory filings, and annual statements, with along supporting documents and bills and all that. So you can take a screenshot of these, and it could be helpful for share among your societies and as well. So before we end this, I sincerely request you understand where your society stands, whether your society or you're living in, or your if you're managing committee, just check where your society stands, and if you're a consultant, please check whether where the client stands. It is not a thing that this society will exist for 1 year. It's obviously it will exist for almost 20 to 30 years. So if the society exists for 20 to 30 years, you need to analyze how strong the governance system should be, and how well the documents should be addressed, and how well the policies has to be drafted, and how well the responsibility of management exists, how well the members of the responsible members should exist. This keeping in all this mind, you need to just think where your society stands as of now, and this could be helpful for you uh, in addressing the future issues and things. One major thing I see the most of societies, so members might think that management is not acting properly, or managing is not taking decisions properly. And when I stand from the perspective of management, management think of the same thing. The members are not supporting well and all these things. So this is not about the supporting kind of thing or management acting thing, but it is a lack of documentation. It is a lack of proper policy. It is a lack of transparency in the system that should be addressed. If you are able to address all the things properly, then there will be no issues of such kinds. I strongly believe in that manner. Yes. So if you're owning a one business, you will be thinking of so well in that, and how you need to develop that business, and how you educate. You will be having some plan for your business and all that. But in society, their stakeholders are much huge. It's not one person. It's much huge than one person. Then it should be taken care in such manner, and it should be governed as that. So here is my closing thoughts. Well-governed society is not defined by its buildings, how the huge buildings are, but it's by strength of its governance, financial disciplines, and collective responsibility. So I here end with my webinar, and I'm open for the questions, if any. Thank you
Thank you,
for
sir.
patient listening. Thank you humbly from bottom of my heart. I thank you each and everyone who has joined the webinar. It might be 5 minutes late, but I thank you for each and everyone.
Thank you, sir. We will now open the floor for Q&A session. I
Okay,
request
please.
participants to please post your questions in the chat box. There are already few questions, sir.
Okay.
Shall I read out for you?
Yes, please, please.
Yeah, okay, sir. Mr. Satish Chapili, he want to know
Okay.
if the RWA identifies that builder has not constructed the common areas as per GHMC sanction plan, and builder is reluctant to fix the non-compliance.
Okay, can you
Fix
repeat
the
again?
non-compliance issues.
Okay.
What should the RWA do in this situation?
So when coming to this issues between the builder and society, so before you take any decision, that should be addressed. You need to check in the RERA. So in RERA, it is clearly identified the things, what are the duties of the builder. So it is clearly defined actually. So you can go through the RERA Act. It is clearly defined over that, and what are the timelines by which builder has to deliver the product as defined in the plan and all that things. So it's better to go with the RERA and solve that issue in that case.
Question from Mr. Ashok Jain.
Hmm.
Is maintenance collected from members and tenants should be considered separately? That is collected from tenants not rated under mutuality.
So yes, maintenance from the tenants will not be covered under principle of mutuality. Okay, because the tenants are third parties, so the vendors was come into the society who pays the rent for the society are little considered as third party. The concept of mutuality does not happens. It will be breaks here actually. So maintenance will not just will be applicable on the maintenance collected from the tenants of the society. Is the question is same? I think the Ashok Jain is asking, I guess, is it from the tenants of the flats or tenants of, if it tenants of the flats, the concept of mutuality still applies and all that. As the invoice will be raised for the each flat, in the concept of mutuality applies. Because why it is applies is, even though he's a third party, uh, it is well defined in the saying that so the society is formed for benefit of members. That's it. So it is not third party who works is not availing the services. It's the same person on the tenant basis availing the services. So the concept of mutuality still applies for the tenants who are living in the flats, and it's not applies for the tenants or vendors in the society.
This question is from Mr. Ramakrishna. If we have
Okay.
surplus from maintenance charges collected itself, whether tax is payable, can we differentiate such charges from extra facilities, interest, from deposits, etc.?
So here two things. So one is excess of collections over the expenditure. As I said, you initially this is a mutual thing. It's a kind of one pocket or the pocket as per income tax. So then, even though it is excess, it is not taxable in the hands of society at all. And coming to other things, if when the society faces any deficit thing, so the other charges, other incomes include interest from deposits, banks, and all that, right? Even society uses that expenditure for some societies use such expenditure for the purpose of expenditure in the society. So anyhow, that is involved in with the third party, the interest all received will be taxable in the hand of society. Once it is taxed income, then you can utilize for the expense of society.
When decisions taken by the management committee in day-to-day operations, if residents do not follow that, what can we do? What rights or management committee has legally?
So, uh, so this is a broad question actually. Okay, so when specific to maintenance, I mean to say when specific to maintenance, so you can see there are many case laws, even Supreme Court judgments on that. When the member of the society is not paying the maintenance to the maintenance, it's a regular maintenance society. The society can take any action and they can stop basic necessities to that flat and all that. It's already approved judgment and there are certain judgments from Supreme Court as well on that you can take. But before that, I humbly request management team to draft a policy. See, there should be some policy. So even without policy, if you go legally also that could not be beneficial for you. There should be some proper policy has been drafted that should be implemented, and there is a certain kind of intimations to the members saying that reminders, some kind of reminders. Even after that reminders, if member is not supposed to pay that maintenance and all that, and then you can take an action. There should be some process of thing, and you can that will enable you to stay confident and strong before law. So I suggest to have policy, and there should be some kind of reminders and all that process. There should be some process for each and everything. Yes. Next.
Next question is from Mr. Jagdish sir.
Okay.
Builder collected 2 years upfront maintenance. Are they liable to share interest on maintenance collected?
So builder has collected 2 years upfront maintenance as they are able to share interest on maintenance. So there is a good question, but actually, in practically this could not happen actually because so in practical scenario I'm speaking about. So when you pay upfront 2 years maintenance at purchase of the flats, it's very hard to collect the actual maintenance from the builder, and it will be very difficult to collect the interest on that. It will be very difficult. But if you have, do you have when you come to say legally, do you have right? Yes, you have right on that. But practically going, it would be very difficult. Better to recover the maintenance charges as soon as possible from the builder. And even if you want to proceed legally, that could be beneficial to collect the maintenance on interest on maintenance upfront.
Next question.
Yeah.
This question is from Mr. Ashish Agarwal.
Because there is a deficit on the CAM collection, but I'm also getting interest from my fixed deposit. So am I able to adjust the deficit against the interest income and pay tax on the net amount of income? Basically, saying that my starting point for payment of tax will be PBT. On the PBT, assuming there are no other adjustments which are prescribed on account of depreciation and other items, on the PBT amount, I pay tax.
So while you coming to the tax position in that case, first of all, when you use the interest on deposits for the general maintenance, right? So in most of the housing societies, it will not allow you to use interest on fixed deposits or corpus fund deposits to use against the general maintenance expenditure, because these are made for the purpose of long term, right? So they are not allowed to use as per bylaws of the society, and no bylaws of no society has allowed in bylaws also. Till now, I gone through all the bylaws, they are not allowed to use the interest on corpus fund deposits against the things. But and coming to the your point, when it is a maintenance fund, see, if you deposit from the maintenance fund and you're receiving the interest from the on maintenance fund, and if you are you allowed to use the interest on maintenance fund? Yes, you are allowed to use the interest on maintenance fund against the maintenance expenditure. But whether you are allowed to claim expenditure of that? No, you are not allowed to claim expenditure of against that interest. Interest will be taxed straight away in income from other sources under Income Tax Act.
Yes. Thank you so much for the reply. And this is, I believe, this is the standard practice which is being followed by most of the housing associations across the city.
Yes. This is standard practice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There is another question from Mr. Venkatesh Bhupati. Does the law allows imposing fines on owners for maintenance non-payment of maintenance?
Yes, it's allowed. So before it's allowing, ensure that bylaws has been as provision of penalty, imposing penalty in case of members who have not paid the maintenance. Once you check when the clause in bylaws can go ahead collecting the penalties on the dues from the members. It is allowed.
What is the turnover for the purpose of tax audit applicability considering the concept of mutuality?
So coming to the tax audit applicability, so the gross receipts, when you're considering the gross receipt, we are asking the societies if it exceeds the limits mentioned in tax audit, they can go for a tax audit and all that. For example, even we are asking the on safer side, this is not just a safer side, not actually, there is no clear in the law as well. We are asking the societies to go for a tax audit, including considering the maintenance if it exceeds the limits on the tax audit and all that. Otherwise, it's not. But on safer note, we are asking them to get tax audit and all that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Is anything?
Is it compulsory for RWA to move from society registered under Act 1960 to Cooperative Society Act? In view of recent judgments, registrar is not accepting any annual filings or audit reports or changes in the management. What is the course of action to be taken by the management?
Yeah. Current practical scenario. There was one case recently, literally last month, Supreme Court has accepted the case where checking the legal validity of RWAs in Telangana. So if you want to wait, you can wait till the Supreme Court delivers the judgment on that. Otherwise, on safer note, it's better to move to mutual aid cooperative societies as well, because there is structured framework and framework for trade and welfare associations under TMAX actually. So and there are also other under welfare associations 2001 Act. In case of any concern rise, then you need to proceed legally. There is no other option. But coming to TMAX, there is a body district register is there, so we can report to them, and there is a tribunal, cooperative tribunal also there. Can go ahead with them. So the process under TMAX is very structured actually as of now. So and you also need to check how long the RWA is in existence and what are the things are registered in the name of RWA, like fixed deposits, what is the extent of fixed deposits. And you need to get the clearance from the income tax. You need to get the clearance from the GST department. You need to get the clearance from all remaining societies as well. And if there is any conveyance deed executed by builder in the name of RWAs, that should be again executed in the name of TMAX society, right? So to what extent you need to check all this before you move to a TMAX? So my humble suggestion was if your compliances and legal issues very little, go ahead with the TMAX and you will have benefit of income tax too as well, right? Then I can suggest you to move to TMAX. Even there was a recent uh, uh, public meeting held by Confederation of RWAs, Residents Welfare Association, Confederation of Residents Welfare Association. In that meeting, they were saying that they are also recommending societies to move to TMAX as well. And coming to actual practical scenario, this is only in Telangana as of now. So in most of the states, they are currently registering under Telangana Welfare Associations, and we have still hope on that too as well. But coming to tax perspective and structure perspective and benefits from a TMAX, we are suggesting to move ahead with 30 max. That's
Hi, Saikiran, Jagdish here. Let me know if you're able to hear.
I'm able to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing a valuable session. It's for sure an insightful thing. One question I have is in regard to one of the slides that you mentioned, where you specified the GST threshold as 7,500. And in the same slide, you also mentioned, like, if maintenance is collected on the amenities, the threshold doesn't apply and GST liability would be applicable. And at the same time, you also mentioned maintenance collected from tenants would be attracting GST. So just want to clarify, when a society bills maintenance to members, it will be exempted. And if it is to non-member, like in this case, tenants, irrespective of the limit, even if it is 3,000 or 4,000, does GST apply?
Yes, obviously. So once before you think of that, you need to check whether the society is crossing the limit of 20 lakhs.
Yeah,
If it is
obviously.
once it is crossing the 20 lakhs, for in all scenarios, GST will be applicable on maintenance and all that. Irrespective of 1,000 or 20,000, GST is applicable on maintenance to non-members.
Okay. And I also have a follow-up, another question.
Yes,
Just
please.
like in case of companies where a company has a responsibility to appoint statutory auditor within 30 days of incorporation, do we have any similar regulation which mandates appointment of auditor before, like, any specific timeline from the date of incorporation of the society?
So normally, this is of normally the model bylaw says it is 30 days, but it's again depends on society to society. As per model bylaws is 30 days. When you are unable to appoint, you can consult even register also. They will appoint from their end actually. If not, then if you people don't appoint, actually in the societies, people auditors will be appointed by the members in general body, right? So if general body doesn't accept that, there will be no option to get appointed. So you need to check with the district registrar to get appointed. That's the thing.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Murthy.
Okay, yes, sir. Please tell.
It's regarding actually there is a practical issue.
Okay,
This is society as of now. Society is not collecting the maintenance charges. Builder is
okay,
collecting the maintenance charges after completion of the 1 year advance maintenance.
okay,
Since they are not handing over the entire apartment, other clubhouse amenities and all to the
okay,
society. Till then, the
okay.
society requested to maintain by you and collected by you only on cost to cost basis and true up model.
Okay,
For that, the society wished to appoint an internal audit on the builder
okay,
for the accuracy of the SFT cost
okay,
expenditure actuals. Is it
Okay.
required GTM for the appointment of such internal audit, unlike
Not required.
statutory
Not
audit?
required. Not required. Not required. You
Not
can go for
required, but
appointment. Not required.
uh,
Because
okay.
it is not a statutory requirement. So internal audit is optional for the committee. So in the management committee. So you can go ahead with the decision of management committee.
Okay. One more question. You are telling that the conveyance deed required for
Yes.
the
Yes.
unemployed. This is how we are arriving the conveyance deed for the only for the with respect to clubhouse or land. How to get it the document, the process.
So this conveyance deed is as per RERA. Okay.
Mhm.
So as per RERA Act, the once builder hand over the society, once builder hand over the complete apartments to the each owners, he has to execute conveyance deed within the 6 months.
From
Or
the
handing all 6 months
handing
from the date
over.
of completion. Yes, yes.
Is there any
He has to.
registration charges like that? Anything which
It's
should
very
be
minimal.
registered with?
It's
It should be.
it must be. It must be registered. It is around 1% that thing. It's like kind of
Okay.
gifted kind of thing, but it will be no cost, almost low cost. Okay.
Okay.
So it should be executed within 6 months from the by builder in the favor of society. That's what the builders get the society registered just before, at least 6 to 8 months before they hand over.
Okay.
Actually, so
Okay.
once they register the society, yes,
Yeah. What is the documentation or things you need to prepare for the handing over at the time of handing over by the
yes,
builder
yes,
to the
yes,
society?
yes,
The
yes.
documentation part. I would like to hear from you.
Yes, sir. This is not covered here actually in the PPT because the documentation handover process is very little bit and very long actually. There are certain almost 50 to 80 items that has to be covered in handover process actually.
Okay. Did
Okay,
you have any
so
checklist kind on this?
yes, yes, we do have checklist and we do check for the society. We'll give it to societies which are recently formed societies. So as per that societies, if I want to add that in the webinar, it might take almost another half an hour only for that perspective. That's the thing. And in
One
the
more one
from
more
the
question.
audience,
Follow-on question on the
yes, sir.
same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I hear that so many organization doing handing over process by charging on SFT basis. Is that a
Yes.
chartered accountant is allowed or chartered accountants are also doing this kind of services, which is a gray area to cover the market?
So gray area it's actually uh, handover process will
Yeah.
not include only financial perspective actually in this case. So when coming to the question whether chartered accountants are allowed, yes, they're allowed to do that. But they might not having the knowledge of uh, legal perspective and all that, right? So they should have some team of legal perspective and fiscal verification part, verification team and all that. So handover process is not only about the financial. There are a lot of things that could be covered under handover. So financial handover is a one of the handover part. That's it. Yes.
Okay. In regards to the first question that I asked is regarding the clubhouse related maintenance paid by the builder, because practically for maintaining the clubhouse by the society, usually society members collect some maintenance from the builder, because ideally builder is the owner of the clubhouse.
So no, can you come
So
again, please? So society is maintained by the. So
so
clubhouse is maintained
basically
by builder.
clubhouse is
Hmm.
also being maintained by the society, and
Yes,
clubhouse is not registered in the name of the society. It will be in the name of the builder. So
exactly.
for maintenance purpose of the clubhouse, the society members
Hmm.
usually collect maintenance from the builder.
From the builder.
Yes.
Okay.
So in that case, this exemption of 7,500 is provided only for the members of the society, and members means the registered residents.
Yes, only
So
registration. Yes.
yes. So in this case, irrespective of whatever the amount they collect as a maintenance from the
Hmm.
builder, for maintaining
Hmm.
the clubhouse, it will be chargeable to GST, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is chargeable GST.
Okay. And the next question, sorry, I had one more question.
Yes, please tell.
In case of small scale apartments where there are only 10 units or so, which actually I faced practically,
Okay.
if they want to set up a society, for the purpose of maintenance, like a large scale or bigger size apartments,
Okay.
Telangana Societies Act don't register it because when you write in the objective as maintenance, they don't register it. Telangana
Exactly.
Cooperative Societies Act, I think it's minimum 12 members. There should be minimum 12 members.
11. Yeah,
11.
minimum 11 people. 11.
Yeah,
Yes.
11 members to register as a society.
Yes.
Telangana Mutually Aided Cooperative, I think they should be minimum 25, if I'm not wrong.
Telangana Mutual Aid Cooperative Societies was 11 people. Other committee will be 11 people, but the actual committee will be the of 9 people.
Okay. Now, in this case, for these 10 people, if they want to form a society, how is practically possible?
So currently there is no possible to pay for them actually. So they can request a mutual aid cooperative district register to get registered, as the minimum requirement for them was 9. Yeah, 9. So they can request the district register to get registered and nothing. If he don't accept this is practical. I'm saying this is nowhere legally mentioned or that. Just if it is just only for the maintenance purpose, they can register some welfare society. Not mentioning the welfare housing maintenance and all that stuff. They can register some welfare society with a 2001 Act and they can go ahead. But actually, legally, it is not allowed.
Understood. And that's the only
This is
thing.
not legal. And from practical perspective, I'm saying, but this is not legally encouraged actually. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
This will be the last question for this session. Mr. Purushottam is Mr. Purushottam. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please continue with your
Hi.
questions. Sir.
Hi,
Purushottam.
Mr. Saikiran. Thank you so much for the insightful session. So I have one question which has two parts actually. So one of the association is considering to collect funds from the members for events such as festival, say Ganesh Chaturthi or that stuff. So this is over and above, and this is completely separate from the regular maintenance that they collect, and this is based on the voluntary contributions. Some might contribute say 100 rupees, some might contribute 10,000 rupees.
Yes.
So in this case, is GST applicable? Second part of the question is, the society is organizing summer camps where they have invited certain trainers, say for coaching of cricket or swimming for kids. And here also, the society is facilitating collection of funds from the respective participants who wants to take this coaching and paying the same to the coaches on the actual basis. There's no margin in both the scenarios. So in both the scenarios, I would like to ask you if GST is applicable in your view.
Okay. So first scenario, cultural related thing, right? So society has to collect GST on even that culture donations also, because they nowhere GST law exempted collecting GST on cultural activities. So where the many, even you can see the many people sponsor the society for events, right? Even that also subjected to GST and all that. So all the culture donations as per law, it should be under GST Act. So if it is a donation, say, let us assume that if it is a donation, voluntary donation kind of thing, the society has to take 12 years registration actually to get it exempted. Otherwise, it is subjected to GST and all that. Even the income collected, income of culture society, it exceeds the expenditure, then it is subject to income tax also. There is no concept of mutuality over there. So coming to second question, so even though it is on cost basis, GST has to be collected from the members, because the concept of mutuality applies only when it is delivered to everyone in common. Okay. In this case, it is rendered to only to specific people. So it is not like all resident has covered over here, right? So in this case also, even the society collects the funds from the students and give to the trainer, then they are subject to GST and all that. So now my best solution for that, so in order to avoid everything, I avoid GST from the members, just ask the trainer to collect from the members and engage the society some kind of commission if they required, and collect GST from the trainer, not from the members.
Okay. Thank you for your insights. So I have a follow-up question.
Yes, please. Okay, please.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for a wonderful session. I had
Thank
just
you.
one question. Is this mutuality concept mandatory to be availed? If we don't take the mutuality concept and offer the net profits as our income, does the law prevent us from doing this?
So law doesn't prevent it, that's actually, but when for that you need to amend your bylaws also. Okay, so when you need to amend bylaws saying that the society is not formed for the benefit and profits actually. If society is formed not for the benefit of profits, then it will come under concept of mutuality. If your bylaw says that it is formed from not it is formed for the purpose of benefit of members, then the concept will obviously apply to society. That's the case. If the bylaw says we'll do some commercial transactions in the society, then even law doesn't restrict you to doing that. But in that case, even the maintenance will be subject to GST and all that.
Okay, I got your point. The sole reason why I asked you this question is some societies have collected a lot of deposits and they are earning a lot of interest on it. So, from the taxation angle, when you look at it, offering the whole gross interest as tax becomes very painful to them.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
They want to offer the net profit as tax. So I was wondering whether we can do away with, we can opt for not opting this mutuality and offering it the net thing as income.
That happens only in the case of when third party vendors handle your maintenance. That's the only case where you can do that. Because the society is formed only for the purpose of benefit. If it is formed for the purpose of benefit of members, then the GST will not apply, right? Up to 7,500. If you don't want principle of mutuality, then GST will apply. Even GST applies on even for 1 rupee also when you charge members.
Okay. Thank you.
So there are a lot of things that to be considered before you want to take that decision actually.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, is there any questions still? Yeah, we can conclude it.
No, sir, we can conclude it. Thank you so much for your valuable insights on various aspects of residential welfare associations, and a very good luck to your lucky little charm. And,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And a great success to your book.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all the participants for making this session successful.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Bye. Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you all. Thank you for patient listening and making me complete decision. Thank you so much.